Chelsea 2, Fulham 1. We live to fight another day under this manager. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you did it. I did not expect anything. I expected a draw. I'll be honest. I expected a draw. I thought 1-1. Get a goal from somewhere. Probably concede a goal. Yeah, pretty standard. Didn't expect an exciting game. And it wasn't, for the most part. If we're being honest with ourselves, it was a pretty boring game. But it's like so many people I've spoken to today have said, we got the job done. And I am not here to criticise Chelsea Football Club getting the job done. It's exactly what I've been complaining about, that we haven't done the whole season. But we did it today. Or in 2025 at least, we haven't got the job done. Today, local derby, we stopped Fulham getting the double over us. We've got our first away win in 2025. I was on the 0% today. At times I thought, fucking hell, Alex, you need 70% vodka. Is there such thing as 70% vodka, Cam? Can you have vodka that's 70%? Is that too high? Yeah, you can. 90% vodka. That's what I feel at times. Like when I'm watching Chelsea, I think I just need to knock the pain back, and then I won't really mind it because I'll be pissed. But I said, you know what? These are serious times. I don't want to drink. I want to be fully aware of what's going on so that I can articulate myself after the game. That's how I've been feeling. And look, there's still a lot of things I would change in this team. There's so many aspects of this team that I would change. And the manager, let's not sit here and act like I'm happy. Obviously, we know how I feel about the manager. But he deserves credit. If we go on a game-by-game basis, then you have to look at the positives and the negatives. And we rectified some of our mistakes. We managed to get Tyreek George on for Jackson. That made a huge difference. He got the goal, even though we conceded a poor goal from Reece James. Really poor goal. And, it kind of made me think again, like, I'm sure Maresca said James can't play every 3 days, but then proceeds to do it. Why? Why do you keep inverting him as well? It's just strange. That doesn't make any sense to me. Just invert Cucurella. We love it when he does it. He's good at it. He did it last season. It worked well. Finished the season strong. So that's something that, frustrates me a little bit. I agree with the notion that our centre-backs aren't good enough. Mid-table, I guess you could make that argument. Tosin did come from a mid-table club. Chalobah was playing for Crystal Palace not long ago, before we recalled him from his loan. Badiashile, Colwell hasn't really proved himself this season as a reliable centre-back. There's definitely an argument for that. We can improve on multiple fronts. I felt like at times the midfield was very open. Fulham were cutting through us. And one thing, especially away games, you want to be tough to break down. And I always feel like Chelsea, if we concede that one chance, it's very difficult for us to claw our way back. I mean, you saw how hard we had to work to go and win that game. The goal from Tyreek George was one thing, and then we had plenty of opportunities on top of that. We had, I think there was a goal line clearance from Cucurella. Palmer really should have had a little bit more. He was relatively quiet today. Didn't see much from Jackson. Madueke, a cross. He was dribbling at players, he just wasn't turning up. Like, you can't expect someone to dribble past 5 or 6 players. Once he gets past the first and the second, you think, all right, well, where's the ball? But there doesn't seem to be options. There's a lack of movement. And Tyreek George changed that. I think Pedro Neto as well. He brings this energy to the team that even if he doesn't necessarily play as direct as other wingers and other players, you respect the effort that he puts in. I'm not sitting here saying Pedro Neto gives us 10s out of 10s, but he's always putting in a shift, and you can never disrespect that. And today he got the winning goal. We saw him walk out of the stadium after. He was pretending like he was on a phone call. I said, Pedro, mate, we're happy. You don't need to hide. But yeah, big up to him. Big fan of Neto. I've always appreciated that type of player. Maybe not the type of player that you want in this system, but You know, we're stuck with what we have, and we've got to make it work. What else? Those limbs at the end was the best I've seen this season. It was better than Tottenham. It was better than Tottenham. Because inevitably when we played Tottenham, we always know that we're going to win. I did not feel like we would beat Fulham today. I didn't feel it coming into the game. I didn't feel it before the game. I didn't feel it during the game. I didn't feel it when it was 1-1. And we did it. So I'm very glad to be proven wrong. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I didn't expect that level of end product at the end of the game to be able to pull this club through. We talk about mentality. You know, everyone wants to talk about tactics. Mentality's been the real issue. It's settling for mediocre. Why are you so fucking happy after draws against Ipswich? You're saying we played well and we drew 0-0 against Brentford. Show us that you can push this team to win at all costs. Do you remember a couple of years back when we had Mauricio Sarri and we beat Cardiff City away from home? Look, Ruben Loftus-Cheek scored a header, or maybe it was Azpilicueta, one of the two. And we won that game. We played terribly. And I think Neil Warnock was absolutely fuming. But those games are the catalyst sometimes to drive a team on and show that there is a togetherness. And I don't feel like these players have ever not played for Maresca. I always felt like they were putting a shift in. I just felt like whatever Maresca's been telling them hasn't been working. And I still feel like that to an extent, because if we're like this every single game, we're not going to win all of them. It's like a 50-50. Ipswich was a 50-50. We could have won that game 3-2. We could have drawn this game today. We won. Be happy. Take the positives, of course. But I don't really see this as a sustainable way of playing. But it does build confidence, and we've been lacking that massively. And the away fans, you could feel there was a toxic energy in the crowd. You know, fans were chanting Roman Abramovich in the first half. Some fans think that's a positive thing. Obviously, we love Abramovich, but don't really think it's positive when you're losing the game. I think it's more of a backhanded comment towards the current regime. But yeah, big up to Roman, obviously. And the away support grew in the second half and maintained. It wasn't like, you know, after we scored, it was... that's when the fans woke up. From minute 45, we were pretty decent. Much better than we were in the first 45. Chelsea fans have the absolute right to be, I don't want to say toxic, that's the wrong word, but angry at what we've seen over the past couple of months. But it's like any relationship. You have siblings, you have brothers, you have you know, parents. Who's that? It won't be. Oh, fucking man. You know, you have people in your family, you bicker, you fight, and then you make up because you love each other. I love Chelsea. I know you all love Chelsea. And we want to see succeed. We want to see this team succeed. The next question is, do we believe it can succeed? I ask you that now after this game. Do you think this is the catalyst for Chelsea to go on and finish in the top 5? I personally don't. But I can still be happy with the result. I think the club is in a very, very dire situation. This result doesn't change that. You know, we should be comfortably beating Fulham. We beat them, but it definitely wasn't comfortable. But we showed grit, we showed passion, we showed desire. And that's what we've been missing for a while, guys. We've been missing real leadership of players. Just do it yourself. If nobody else is finishing the chance, Tyreek George, step up. Thank you. Neto, I love it. Bit of GA. Everyone's saying no GA. Got a bit of GA today. More of that. And take the pressure off of Palmer. We shouldn't be called Palmer FC. Chelsea FC. Not Nicholas Jackson FC either. A lot of people think that he should continue to start. I'm absolutely okay with Tyreek George starting as a striker if he continues scoring goals. I know it's not necessarily where, you know, he might prefer to play. He's naturally a winger. But whatever's best for the team at the moment needs to be done. And if that means playing more counter-attacking football at times and not inverting your right-backs and playing Palmer on the right instead of in the middle, or whatever it is, then do that. And I would absolutely love Maresca to adapt, and I will praise him for that. Do I think he'll do it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest. From what I've heard from Leicester fans, he did adapt a little bit at the end of last season because his system wasn't working. And then he started playing more direct football, and that dragged them across the line. Let me know if I'm wrong, guys. I'm just saying what I've heard from a few Leicester fans. But yeah, massive, massive credit to the team for just giving the fans a little bit of belief. I don't think we're going to finish in the top 5, but it's nice to know that Chelsea aren't finishing the season the way we did under Frank Lampard a couple of years ago, losing every single game, dropping points all the time. We're not talking about race to 40 points. It's a better position, but still very dire. We're not really where we need to be this season. Champions League was meant to be nailed on. But at least we're entertaining the conversation. It keeps it interesting, especially for people who are paying to go to these games. Yeah, so respect to the match-going fans, great atmosphere, fantastic limbs as well, amazing limbs. Like, those celebrations were cracking. That was like Palace away last year, absolutely fantastic. And the Fulham fans, I saw you walk off. Hold that. Who the fuck do you think you are, doing the double over Chelsea? Fuck off. Never been done, never will be done. Fulham, you know why you wear white? Because you win one game and then you go missing like a fucking ghost. That's who you are. You're Tottenham. You're worse than Tottenham. Nah, maybe not. All right. Maybe not. Get a bit carried away there. Yeah, Fulham, trying to give it. I heard those chants. I heard those chants in the first. What was the chant, Nathan? What was it? What was the chant that they were singing about Chelsea? What did they say, can we play you every week? What was it? Something like that. You fucking played us and you lost. You got played. Hold that. Thank you very much.